Hey challengers, 2 more days. Here are some things that you're probably noticing about your progress. Number 1, each drill seems pretty straightforward until you add the requirements of mindful technique, right? Number 2, the more you practice mindfully, the easier it gets because your body's automating it. Number 3, you might have realized that you thought you'd already automated a skill, but you actually didn't. Number 4, you might have underestimated the fundamental value of certain techniques that you kind of thought were optional. And number 5, getting feedback from your selfie videos is invaluable in confirming your practice trials and necessary for making future corrections. Now that you're getting used to this feedback loop, instead of just practicing blind, wondering if you're doing it right, you'll be able to self-assess better going forward and confirm that what you think you're doing is actually what's happening. But this isn't the end of the process. The next step is to get professional feedback to detect any blind spots and/or confirm that you're on the right track. We're going to be telling you more about this stage of the process tomorrow. For now, in the Day 6 challenge, we're going to be talking about working on keeping the free foot closer to the floor, controlling your timing of your weight transfer with simplified musical tactics, and more complex and quick direction changes. Now, I got to go start an online private right now, so enjoy your Day 6 video.
Alright, so this drill is called the Fred and Gingers, like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Normally we use this to emphasize the chaîné turn part, but we're going to use this today to emphasize the footwork of the catch. So we are going to be doing some pivoting stuff, so you're stepping out, turning out, closing the feet behind as your chaîné, and then landing and catching into the slow part. So you're doing it as a triple, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. And you really, really want to watch that off this turn, we don't stick this to stop and then try and absorb. You still want to make sure there's lots of roll and lots of control. You can definitely come down into the knee. You don't have to stay up in the knee, but we're going to be really watching this part and your initial turnout on the first part of the turn so that we don't get crossed up through there. So as we're doing this, again, out, turn, catch. We also do want to use the contra body here and let the rib cage go past the hips to wind up for the next turn. Ba, ba, ba. So I'm going to just do that sideways for y'all. So I'm stepping out quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. My shoe got stuck on that one, sorry. Quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. All right, this next drill is grapevines, and we're going to do 2 variations of the grapevines. But the important thing with the grapevine is that we're using that sprung roll. So our heels are going to maybe kiss the floor when it's slow, and as it gets a little faster, we're going to stay up here. But we want to emphasize the rolling of the feet. So in a grapevine, it's a behind crossing and in front crossing action. Noticing that my weight is all the way on the balls of my feet, but I am still able to roll through my legs. We do not want to be up on the toes and stiff-kneed trying to get through those grapevines. So again, I'm rolling through them. If I come sideways at you, I'm rolling through my feet, but staying sprung on the balls of the feet. The second part of this drill really emphasizes that. So what we're going to do is put a pulse in. So every time I step cross, I'm going to pulse my knees. And cross, pulse, and cross, pulse, and cross, and cross. What we want to think about is kind of bouncing off of the tendon in the back by pushing the knee backwards and snapping off of it. I'm not using any thigh engagement. I'm not pulling up in my quad or anything like that because that's going to create a sticking action. I just want to loosely bounce it. So you can just stand here and just kind of bounce your leg, but think backwards, not up and down.
Hello, welcome to day 6. Today's challenge, we're going to be working on keeping your feet really close to the floor and using some simple musical tactics in order to control your weight transfers on a very specific timing. When we're dancing, a lot of instructors will tell us that we need to keep our feet close to the floor. Let's actually be very specific about that. It doesn't mean your whole foot. It also doesn't mean your forefoot. You want to make sure that you're still able to articulate through your toe and your ball, which means really it's your toe that can brush the floor as you take your weight off it and you move it through each one of your steps, not your entire forefoot sliding or skiing or shuffling on the floor. So in order to do that, make sure you're opening your heel, or raising your heel, opening your ankle angle, and letting your toe brush on the floor. If it happens to come off the floor just a little bit, it's not a crime, but for the next drill, you're going to need to have it actually touching the floor. Here's me doing it incorrectly. So here's me doing it correctly.
So here's a little exercise to practice keeping our feet in contact with the floor, but making sure that we're, again, using that toe point. So you see we have some paper towels underneath our feet here, and what this is going to do is give us just that feeling and making sure that we're not picking our foot up. So as we're walking, we want to be thinking about using the tip of the toe here to pull that paper through, and then transferring our weight through our next step. If I'm rotating or if I'm crossing my feet in front, still using all of that same toe technique. Toe comes through, rolling through, and now my toe pulls my back foot across. If I was going behind. We can also do this with any of the suede signature things. So we're pulling that around the corner and away we go. So what we're trying to avoid, and you can see it if we go this way, we're really trying to avoid any of that ball pulling the paper through. It's always just the toe. And this is another reason why we want our turnout in our dance, because our turnout's going to allow that toe to help and pull through. Okay? So I would recommend practicing this straightforward walking and backwards, side crossing, so just like we would do in our normal dance here, doing any of the clock or rotational things, crossing in front and rotating, making sure that each and every time there's still full articulation of the ankle. And then we can start making it a lot more on the random side. So practice it really prescribed there first. Another one to avoid here when we're walking is keeping them too far apart, right? It's totally fine if the papers get a little mangled up because they're brushing through. The only thing that we're looking for is to not leave paper behind. That's it.
So don't worry about wrinkling or ripping the paper. The paper you can sacrifice.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, this is one of my favorite drills of all time, and this is going to be your homework for day 5. So what we're going to do is take B drill and we're going to apply it to a rhythm, but not triple step rhythm. A very specific rhythm to an actual song that you know, and if you don't know it, I think we need to go and put you back in the hole that you crawled out of. Just kidding. I'm sure you're going to know this song. It's very familiar. The rules are that you must only step on every syllable that you sing. So you're not allowed to take a step unless you actually say a syllable while you're singing. So it looks like this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. You can see where I'm going with this. I'm not a singer, I'm a dancer. So every single syllable you take should be a quality rolling step. You know how to do that. And you'll notice that the happy birthday syllables are going to be syncopated a little bit. So what that means is they're not always going to be on an even timing. So let's listen to the syllables of happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. So happy birth, it kind of rushes together. So it's not happy birth, nice and even. It's syncopated. Happy birth. If you guess, this is going to help you with your swing rhythm. You are absolutely accurate. So this is a skill developer in order to get you ready for handling, adjusting your timing for swung rhythm later. Now let's look at another part of the song where we actually extend instead of syncopate. Happy birthday to you is actually a super long note, as opposed to you, hold, have a coffee, wait. So instead of going happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, instead we want to go happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Tessa. So I'm using all of those deceleration techniques that we did from the last couple of days in order to slow myself down and control my weight transfer without getting off balance. Now, sometimes people have a hard time recognizing that they're actually not doing this on their syllables. So their mouth doesn't match their feet. So when you do your video, sit back and watch it and notice if you're actually saying what you're stepping or stepping what you're saying, and you're probably gonna notice a little bit of a discord there. So give it a try and try to sync up your feet with your syllables, control yourself to happy birthday. Now, if that's too easy for you and you get it, the next level is row, row, row your boat. If you need to Google this song because you don't recognize the English folk song, it looks like this. It's a lot faster with a lot more syncopations. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. So what I'm doing there is I'm adding a lot more syncopations, and I'm going to have to use all of my fast footwork technique that we did on day 3 to be able to add that in to the weight transfer control exercises that we did, and everything comes together in one culminating song. The final form is going to be using happy birthday with swayed signatures at the same time. So that means every time you stop over top of a foot, feel free to elaborate with your swayed signatures shaping in your foot, or your leg, and your body in order to kill time while you're waiting for your rhythm to catch up. Looks like this. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tessa. Happy birthday to you. Well, that's it for us for day 6. This is Miles and Tessa signing off, saying good luck, happy practicing, and stay healthy.